What up, guys? It is day number 2 working on my intake manifold box, intake box. I almost forgot what I was making. I'm gonna move my car into the garage and let's get this day started. Okay, so got the car in the garage. I think today's plan is I want to get the walls or the side pieces put on. So get this flat bent back down so it is back level with the whole unit, whatever I want to call it, I don't know. And then kind of get the walls formed, so everything coming up. So again, I'm going to pull the air filter off. Alright, easy enough. Let's drop that there. Let's set this guy in its location. Let's see, so yeah, there is how it sits right now. And I'm just gonna bend this piece back flat, so it'll be kind of parallel with that. And then that will allow me to like tack on some pieces and make the walls for the whole intake box. And another thing to note is I'm gonna have to I will tack on another piece and kind of round it around this intercooler pipe right here. I don't know if I can word that very well, but you guys will see what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I will catch back up with you guys. Yeah, I used that excess piece, wrapped it up around this paint can. This is 22 gauge sheet metal, and it's actually fairly sturdy, as you guys saw right there. So it does not conform too easy, but it's also pretty usable. So with some gloves on, you can just apply force and it'll bend. Not a perfect bend, but that'll work for what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, pull that tray out, and then make a measurement on here on how much I need of this, and then I will go ahead and cut it and start forming up the walls. So now with that piece cut, we'll just bring it back in here and kind of eyeball where it needs to get cut so the blow-off valve can fit. So about right here, I will just make probably like a 2-inch notch, basically. Alright, so that'll be our starting point right there. So that is that. Let's see. I think we're going to have to bend it a little bit more and come a little bit further forward. Otherwise, it's not too bad. Or what I could do, I think, actually just sliding it forward just that little bit so it kind of fits in there just right. And I'll just have to blend this area just to make it look a little bit more clean. Or I could just totally get rid of this piece. I don't really need that overhang there. But it actually does work out quite well like that, so I think I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to try and tack it on, and we'll see how everything works, and then I'll start building up the wall. But right there, it does look actually pretty good. I'm going to have to set the filter in there and just to see what that does, but it looks okay. So I think I'm just gonna run with it like that, and we'll see. Okay guys, so I went ahead and put the filter on, and this is what it looks like. So this piece has plenty of room around the blow-off valve, so I can weld on the other piece of curved material and have that come up, and then also a plate that also comes up and another plate that comes up. And then I'll probably just put a piece of plate here, just so it kind of creates like a box for the filter. And then, like I said, I just have to bend this piece back and get it flat with this bottom tray piece, just so we can start welding up the walls for the edges there. So I think those are going to be the next steps. I'm going to go ahead with this Sharpie and kind of mark where this is sitting right now, just so I can go ahead and tack it on, and everything can be ready to go and ready to start welding. I basically just kept do a quick tack, let it go, quick tack, let it go, just keep tacking all the way along this thing, just so it would not burn through. Otherwise it would definitely burn through. This welder just does not get that cool. If I had like a TIG welder, it'd be able to do that, but this one can't, so that's how I did it. Let me clean this up and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Not the best, but for a Sentry little $160 flux welder, this thing actually looks pretty good. As you can see in the middle, that is where I stopped and it got really cold. So yeah, like I was saying, that is what the penetration looks like. And of course on the ends, it did decide to melt through, but everywhere else it actually did really well, and that just looks so cool. So this is what it looks like so far. So I got the second piece that I rounded, and then I rounded it a little bit more just so it can fit into this notch. So it fits pretty good. It's not perfect, but I'm gonna have to set it kind of at an angle like that, just so we can get the clearance for taking off the blow off valve if we needed to, and for the air filter. And I think while it's in the car, I'm gonna go ahead and tack it up just like that, just so it stays, and then I'll weld the rest of it while it's out of the car. And then we'll just put some flat pieces along the edge, and we should be good on this side. And then I'll just have to worry about trimming for the hood. I don't think this will be touching the hood, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we will go ahead and start making up the flat pieces for the edges of the box. So this piece is all welded on. Not the prettiest looking welds, but as you can see, penetrated like all the way through it, so it's on there. Still super hot, I shouldn't touch it, but it is on there, so that is good. And I think now we are just on to getting these plates around the edges, attaching to that, and then yeah. Okay guys, so I'm gonna bend this piece down just so I have a little bit more room to work with. So I have it clamped down with a thicker piece. I think this is like 1/8 steel plate, or steel strap, whatever, and then it's on top of this, and then I just drew the line, and then I have that line just hanging right over the edge, so it should bend there. So let's try it out. So kind of worked, but not the best, but it's not the worst. Should work. I'm gonna go ahead and get like a hammer or something just to kind of make sure it's all the same. Like over here it's kind of wanting to flare out, so I'm gonna hammer that edge and it should be good. So I got the plates for the ends, this end and this end all marked out, and just gotta cut them out and start welding them on. Alright guys, so I got those plates welded on. The welds are bad. So luckily it's not structural, or else yeah. But this is what it looks like on the back. I love seeing metal turn colors, but these are the welds. Pretty terrible, but it works. And we'll just set it in here. It just falls into place at this point. So it is, there we go. So that's how it's gonna sit. And then we'll have the back wall here, and then a piece coming across with the hole for the air filter. And then I might have to notch into this one to get that to fit right. But it's coming along. All right, so I think I'm gonna call it quits there. We've got this thing just sitting in here. And I just have to make the back plate and then the plate across diagonal with the hole for the filter, and then that. And we should be okay. So